Hey, what's up? I'm just gonna cap the present series, and I want to do this as to um, I don't want to offer this as authoritative or as I don't want to offer this as prescriptive or authoritative, especially uh, with the subject matter. But I'm gonna name this the Tree of Life series, because or the tree series, because I had said that one thing is that um, part one, there's some appreciable, to recap, there's some appreciable developments in a human being as in life, especially as a professional or a musician, but especially in life, where when once this thing takes place, a lot has taken to get here, and a lot can now stem from here. But so it might be a simple thing, but it actually was a lot that went into it, and a lot that can amount to I think one of the strongest that I know of is like when a child first, or a person first rides a bicycle without training wheels. That's an incredible development, and that means a lot for that person in terms of what fun, but also what confidence and independence they can develop. Again, that's still progressive, and it's progressive, it's relative, and it's limited, but it's also limitless, and it's limiting, but it can also be limitless to a degree if you think of how far you can go once you make a first couple steps. Another one would be doing what we said we were going to do, what we agreed to do, such as I had another video where I said that I was going to come back with a citation of a source, and then I did so, and then so that's another development. The bigger development, I think the biggest for anyone, maybe a young person, but especially an adult and or professional, an intellectual, an artist, anything that you're doing publicly is to live up to your name, to do what your name says you're going to do. So I've done different titles for this channel, but I think a lot of them, they were almost too clever, too fancy, too what I thought would be funny or whatnot, but it actually didn't refer to what the channel is about. So I put this one with pet theory, like living single while loving with pet theory. And so I'm a single person. I love people, and I love loving. And I also, and I enjoy animals, but I don't keep animals. I grew up with different etiquette around animals because of my father. They enjoyed animals where my father's from, but they didn't keep them in the home. And then, but I think animals are cool, especially like fish, like a fish tank. If I ever had a pet, it'd probably be a pet fish. But I don't currently keep pets, but I do got pet theories, so that's like humorous. But I wanted to actually offer some pet theories, so I said I would come back with that. And then I said in a previous series that I'd come back talking about the feet. And then I was talking about some other appreciable developments that I've had, and that are appreciable developments, is like going from a long-time driver to a professional driver, going from a long-time student of guitar to playing guitar publicly and getting my first couple of tips, and also writing some of my first couple of pieces. And then so these are appreciable developments, and I'm not pointing them out in their own sake, but just that they're appreciable developments, and that they say a lot and they mean a lot. But the real significance in the meaning is the experiences that we can now have, with the confidence that comes with that, the skill that comes with that, and also the venues in the vicinity that these would place us in, and the roles that we can do. That's what's significant about being a professional, if we are thinking in those terms, or being of a different dimension of something, is the experiences that can be had there, is what's significant, and the fun and the joy and the meaning and the service that can come with that. But so what I meant to say is that, what I was pointing out, so I wanted to offer a pet theory, since this title is about pet theories, and I do, if I have anything that I keep, it's pet theories. What I think is that, so some people would say like so your master, what, maybe you could say that something that benefits you is something of a master to you, in that you serve it, either you serve it your attention, your efforts, your labor, you take risks for it, whatever you work for or strive for that benefits you or that has meaning to you, is something of a master to you. And it doesn't mean that it's better or worse than you. It can be simpler than you, but it's something of a master. So we should maybe be mindful about what we are engaging with, and therefore is mastering us by us giving it a time and attention. And so, but I think that, so from that perspective, you could say that a lot of things are mastered, and some of the greatest of masters. So actually, the guitar might be one of the greatest of masters if you think about how much respect and interest and esteem people have for the guitar. From that standpoint, it would have to be a master. And I think that some things actually more so master us than we would ever master them. But they enjoy being mastered by us, but there's still yet a form of mastery because we're interested in engaging with them. So you could say that maybe the guitar more so masters anyone, if anything, and maybe no one completely masters the guitar. They can play masterfully, they can taste mastery, but in the ultimate sense, we have to still go to sleep and go to work and breathe and eat and live and cry and laugh. But the guitar is just a guitar, and it's not going to be anything different than a guitar unless and until it's engaging with us. But it's still more so of a master, I think. So I think the greatest master might actually be a tree. I think that the greatest master had been a tree, at least for human beings, but maybe broadly upon the earth, because what do we get our sustenance from is from trees. We from plants, but also and especially trees. We get a lot of sustenance from trees and the seeds that come from trees. But you could say that the human being, the human body, is if you just simply look at the human body anatomically, a lot of people say, man, he took a higher intelligence. People I've said in other videos that I worked with before who were professional medical professionals who studied the human body in school. They said that they appreciated that there's a higher intelligence that the human being reflects in terms of a function, a form and function that would be higher than human than just a strictly human intelligence as we understand human intelligence could be responsible for. And I don't know if that's exactly true, because I think that can we really exist without being responsible for our own? That's a deep question. Are we responsible for our own existence? Are we the cause of our own existence? We experience some of the effects of our existing, but are we the cause, the efficient cause of our existence? Speaking human, am I the cause of my speaking? That's very deep. That's very deep mathematically and spiritually and philosophically, intellectually. That's very deep. But so you could maybe say that human beings are So I had I was in a medical class about the human body, and they said, don't forget, you always have your cheat sheet. You can always look at your own body. Your own body is your own cheat sheet. So if I'm studying my own body, did I conceive my own body? Some people would say, yeah, your parents conceive you, but are you not also your parents? So did you conceive your own body? Did you conceptualize your own body on some level? Or was it conceived for you? That's interesting. And if it was conceived for you, is it your body? That's a question. But you can say that our bodies correspond to trees, is all I'm saying. And that some of the greatest things that have made human beings great and capable of what we're capable of has been called the opposable thumb. That would reflect engaging with trees. I'm saying now some of our mental capacity might be a function of our feet and some of the grounding that our feet does, and then just even our body. You have a pole of anything magnetic, electric. You have a pole, so you have the top of your head and the bottom of your feet. There would have to be some correspondence between the bottom of your feet and the top of your head. You take on top of that how sensitive your feet are, and how it can be a reason, or it can be imagined that they connect with the earth on deep levels. The feet are part of what makes us great. But the order Osho has and also I was talking to someone yesterday who pointed out our feet may be a function also of how we used to engage with trees, is some of the development of our feet. But I'm saying that on top of that, the order Osho has said that some of the capacity that we have as humans, it has to do with us standing on 2 feet, because as you stand on 2 feet, the blood in your body is different as you stand. So animals that lean over, like dogs and so forth, they and even cats, because they're horizontal like that, their blood exists differently in their body, and it can overwhelm and rush the brain. So they're actually not conscious. Like some people would say, like vibrate. Like sometimes if you ever meet someone really giddy, like I met someone really cool yesterday with like a cooler color of green than I have on, like a loud green. He had good vibe. He had high energy walking in there like that. Some people are like, hey, it's all good. That kind of high energy is actually awesome. And so some of our thought processes are a function of wavelength of thought. And I can't enunciate that. All I meant to say is that you abide differently in terms of frequency, and part of that's because of blood, because of standing on 2 feet, but all of that is because of trees. So we really can't say the tree of life is where it started and how we became great. And when we had the ability to fight each other with that reasoning, that's where it became sin.